am working on a project, and I meant to like film the whole thing, but because so much is going on in this studio right now, I haven't like had the free time to just kind of sit and go through the whole process. And I thought I'm gonna check in, make a little video and let you guys kind of know what I'm working on. Now, by the time you guys see this video, these babies will already be photographed and sent off. So here's what's going on. Someone from Macphersons contacted me. They're so nice, the sweetest people in the whole world, and asked if I would like to paint a couple babies. And I said, yeah, I would. And so they sent me over 2 of their BJDs and 1 of their puppets. Now, they're a little bit different than reborn dolls. They just are. They're not soft and squishy. They're kind of hard. They have the proportions of kind of like a kid. You know, maybe I don't know, maybe a 10 or 11-year-old girl. I'm guessing that's kind of my vibe. You might see them differently. They have a full torso, full arms, full legs. They do not bend or articulate at the elbows or the knees, but their head does do some really cool posing, which is really nice. They have to be strong, like a ball jointed doll, or you know, like a porcelain doll. And I'm gonna probably do that tonight. Here are the bodies. Here are the arms. I still have some details to do tonight on these dolls. And I did gloves on this one that are kind of a pale blue. These are the legs. This one has painted stockings, and I did sculpt shoes on this baby. And this one has little red shoes that I also sculpted. So one of them had eyes that needed to be painted, so I did paint them. These dolls are going to need a wig, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Let's see, here's the other one. This one had eyes that I needed to put in. I did not root those eyelashes. It's not possible. The vinyl is just a little bit too hard. Now, let me talk about clothes for this baby if you're going to paint these. And Macphersons, like I think I said, they have 4 different ones, I believe. And these are the 2 that I liked and I asked for. They are they're 18 inches, so they're about American Girl size. They're a little bit more narrow, a little bit more petite, but they're about that size. This is an 18-inch doll also. This is Disney, and you can see it's pretty much, it's close. This I kind of a more baby-ish 18-inch, and it has a really big head. You know how Disney does like exaggerated proportions. It is an American Girl shoe. And it did fit, but I didn't want this color shoe, and these are plastic. I had an idea for what I wanted, so I just made my own shoes. But the really cool thing is, in 18 inches, you can go like on eBay or, I don't know, Target, wherever they sell doll things, and pick stuff up. Like here's a cute little pair of ballet shoes. A little pair of Uggs, some cowgirl boots, some little slippers. I got these online. They're a little bit bigger than I wanted them to be, but they're super cute. Here's like a little pair of Mary Janes. Kind of cute, with a Velcro closing, and some little kitty shoes. Now I actually have the grown-up real version. They're a Doc Martin type shoe that came from the UK. I got them about, gosh, 20 years ago. I still have them. I love them. Mine are red and black. You know, I mean, you can play with those if you don't want to sculpt shoes. And I can show you these shoes. So these are the shoes that I sculpted. They're just a cute little pair of Mary Janes. And they do stand up. I gave them a nice base so the doll could stand if she wanted to. And I was thinking, how am I going to costume these babies? I'm not a big sewing person. I mean, I can get by, I can sew things. I use my sewing machine kind of as another tool to glue things together. I'm not a seamstress. I don't have those skills. I can get by and fake it a little bit, but I'm not really big on sewing. So I bought those on eBay, and it came in a big bag. I was really excited. I opened it up and I tossed more than half of it. It was stuff that looks like somebody's grandmother or mom made it by hand, which is sweet, and I love that. However, it looks like it had been at the bottom of the toy box for 30 years. It was dirty and wrinkly and yucky, and I just didn't want to deal with any of that. I didn't need all that. I did save some of the stuff that I thought I could reuse later, like this cute little jacket. You know, I could embellish it or change it, alter it. I liked that. And this skirt, which I don't really want to use this skirt, but I could reverse engineer it and use it as a pattern. So I kept that. Same with these skirts. I think that would make an okay clown skirt. Between you and me, I would probably take off the red, white, and blue because it's very cheerleader-esque, but I could just do a different ribbon. This skirt, I really like it a lot. It's really cute. This shirt, probably would not use it. I don't know why I kept it. It's made out of that stretchy polyester yuckiness. Again, turn it inside out. I could use it as a pattern. I'm not much of a pattern maker, so that's a nice cheat. A couple of the things that were in there that I appreciated were a little tulle tutu. That's right up my alley. Gonna definitely use that. There was this kind of nightgowny thing. It doesn't look homemade, and I don't think I would use this nightgown the way it is, but I could definitely shorten up these sleeves, change the neck, change this lace, maybe pull this up, gather it, put a little tulle underneath it, you know, just play. It's easier for me to change what's already there than to start from scratch. There was this bit here. This was homemade, and it looks like it's muslin, and it has like a little pair of bloomers. I think this is, you know, supposed to look very old-fashioned, and I'm glad it was in the box because, again, these pants would be great. I can cut them and turn them into kind of a shorter bloomer. I don't like this kind of lace, so I would get rid of it, and I could make these a little bit shorter, take off the lace, move this up a little bit, play with it. We'll see. This would make maybe a nice haunted or ghost baby. I saved these little tights. That way I could just use them as a template to make new tights. Again, might use this for a template. It's like a little fuzzy pajama romper thing. Or I just might even play with it. Maybe do like a little Harajuku, Japanese, kind of all kinds of weird craziness with that blue shiny jacket. I don't know, we'll see. And this was handmade by somebody's mom, I'm thinking. It looks very hand stitched, just kind of a big wide neck, maybe over the shoulder a little bit. I'm gonna play with that as an underskirt for one of these babies. Oh, I want to just say, just for fun, some of the things that came in that box of American Girl stuff are these cute little glasses. I am totally saving them because they just are so cute. This little hair clip. I actually think it's going to come in handy when I'm making the wigs. A little perfume bottle, toothbrush and toothpaste. So one of the other dolls they sent me, I'm making a cute little circus baby. So tiny, look at how small that is. And it has like 1/4 limbs for arms and full legs. So cute. And the body is made so that you can put your hand in there and manipulate the arms and the head. And I'll show you when that's done. I'm getting closer. I need to get this baby, I think I'm going to do a little bit more white powder on the face. I'm going to paint and root some hair, root some eyelashes, do the nail tips, and then I will start putting this sweet baby together and do some costuming. I have to go through my itty bitty baby stuff. I have some little tiny clothes I bought a long time ago, and I'm going to see what I have that will fit, and then I may embellish that. So I can't wait to get that one done. I'm going to probably focus my energy on getting the BJDs done first, just because I'm so excited and they're taking so much time and so much work. Now for hair, what I ended up doing, and let me show you the wig caps before I show you what I did. These are the wig caps. Don't they look scary? They are just some stretchy fabric and lots of layers of Mod Podge. I had never really done a wig cap for a doll this size before, and so I just wanted them to be sturdy and good quality. So these wig caps kind of stretch back on. You know, once you glue these back on, they should just fit very well. I have a big bag of this. Isn't that pretty? Because this is hard work. It's so funny, right now it's in my hands and it's warming my hands up immediately. I can feel it. It's so wonderful, that lanolin. It's beautiful stuff, and it's got all kinds of vegetable matter in it, and it's all kinds of dirty, but this is gold right here. Here's another batch. This is from a younger goat. Now you're thinking, ooh, that's not very pretty, and it's not at this stage, but it gets pretty. Here is that hair that you just saw pictures of. It's still drying in my dish towel, and it's starting to get dry. It's still really wet, and it looks very purple, and I didn't intend for it to be purple. This was supposed to be smoky blue, but this hair just took up the dye super quick. I'm a little frustrated because I really wanted this to be blue, and I have this pink that I could play with. And I have the red that I dyed before that I actually kind of like. I could process just some regular white hair and then just add a little bit of this in the tips. What I'm doing today is I'm going to attempt to string these BJDs from Macphersons. Now, once they get put together, because I just put one together, they just kind of come alive. It's kind of cool. It's really cool, actually. And I just want to be honest, this is not super easy. It's just a tiny learning curve. And if you already collect dolls and you've strung dolls before, I have done some little ones. Like I have a little FMB that used to be my son's that he named Doug, that I restrung for him when the elastic inside broke. The cool thing is they give you all of this stuff, and it wasn't elastic. It's this really cool like shop cord. This is super smart. These are super strong, and these are going to stay strong longer than I think the rubber bands. This is really a nice piece of hardware here. So what Macphersons gives you is, you know, your kit. Oh, and in case you're wondering, yes, I did repaint her feet. I sanded them and repainted them black. I didn't like the red. And this gives me a little bit more versatility with her outfit. And they give you these instructions, pretty detailed, like 2 pages of instructions with pictures. Now, what they want you to do is cut some holes in this body. They said about the size of an American penny, and I think that's because Macphersons is Canadian. And I thought that was really cool. I said, an American penny? What other penny is there? How very American of me. So and it says if you want to, you can just heat up the doll and then use an X-Acto blade, blah, blah, blah. The circle does not have to be very big. Now that I've already done this on the other doll, I realize that it doesn't have to be very big just because you're not putting anything through there except grabbing that elastic. So, you know, you don't have to be all fussy with the hole. I think probably this big is fine. No one's ever going to see that. The only thing that I would say to be careful of is not to be letting any debris or any of this ragged bit come up, because you don't want it scraping on the other part. And you want this to like turn smoothly. And if you got a bunch of junk in here, it's going to be crunchy, like she needs, you know, joint replacement surgery or something. And this is pretty hard vinyl, so you should use an X-Acto that is nice and sharp, and be super careful. One slip of this and you're in the emergency room, and nobody wants to be in the emergency room right now or ever, but especially right now, not me anyway. And I am terrified of sharp blades. Imagine that. I will tell you a little quick story. Some of you know that I used to work in the OR as a labor and delivery tech, and we did, you know, our complicated deliveries in there and did C-sections and procedures and stuff. So there are obviously a lot of scalpels, an 11 blade to be exact. My biggest hurdle in surgery was getting right with that 11 blade. I don't know what it is, but I had to like get over my fear of that blade and that first incision. That was the first thing I had to deal with. The rest was kind of okay. I kind of am fascinated by surgery. I love the order of it. I love all of the equipment. I love the vibe. You know, there are sad things that happen in an OR and labor and delivery. Things, you know, aren't always happy endings, but for the most part they are. And it's usually a day of celebration, and you're just helping somebody get there. And I don't know why I'm talking about the stringing dolls. I'll finish and then we'll move on to this baby. But I think it's interesting for those people who are interested in it. Oh, and I'm not sure what it's like for every OR in every situation. In labor and delivery, we have like 12 regular things that we do. And you have 12 setups, and you kind of know, you know, what you need and what you're going to do. You do them over and over and over and over again. You know, you're holding retractors and clamps, and you're keeping an eye out for everything. When a surgeon's in there and he has an assistant, that assistant is 2 steps ahead of the surgeon and is watching and being an extra set of hands and eyes. Or he needs an extra hand here to hold this or push that back or hold this. You're it. And it's super fun, and it's really exciting. I mean, our bodies are this crazy universe inside. Fascinating. Our bodies are fascinating in there. I am not drinking beer while I'm stringing dolls. I like the grapefruit, but my son picked out the lemon. And I usually don't drink out of a can, but I was so thirsty and it was close by. Here is the body, and they want you to do these little openings. Basically, it's just to pull this through. They give you this handy dandy little tool that somebody made to do the pulling through, and I appreciate it, and it's really cool, especially if you don't, and it brings me roundabout to where I started, if you don't have surgical clamps. So I'm going to use these. If you don't have these, this will work. So you put on a washer, the plastic bit, and this guy, and you're going to shove it all down in that hole. This goes in pretty easily, and then this one stays on the outside. So I am taking a pair of pliers. They did not ask you to use a hammer, but I am using a hammer. Please don't tell them I am. I'm sure I'm breaking some dolly rule. You're just making a little loop to catch this. Put that on there, and then I'm going to squeeze it tight so it doesn't go anywhere. So this little guy hangs out, I think. I don't know. This goes into the body, and that's where all the magic happens. You have to take all these guys, whatever they're called, put them in one of these guys, a washer, and somehow you got to get it in that little itty bitty hole. Okay, this is the only place I'm gonna like swear, say bad words, and be negative. They say warm this up, don't cut this, and then this should just be able to pop in. I have a little nick cut out of my finger trying to do that. That's not working for me. I don't know why, and maybe it's, you know, operator error. Maybe I just have no clue what I'm doing. So what I did on the other doll, and I hope I didn't break any rules or do anything wrong, but I just made 2 little notches on either side with my X-Acto blade. And I'm not saying this is a better way, this is the right way, this is the way you should do it. This is just the kind of way I did it to make it work for me. And I grabbed the elastic in there, and it's time to put on the foot. Make sure you put on the correct foot. I'm going to open up that little loop, turn it into kind of a hook, and I'm going to grab that little string or that little piece of elastic, close that up so it doesn't come undone, and then we'll just grab the other side. The other side should be easier to grab. Now I'm getting the arms done, same as the legs, just on top, and actually it's a little easier because it's a shorter distance. So you're just lifting up that little rubber band. And then I'm just going to make that little hook I made into kind of a circle, or kind of like an eye. Let go of the clamp, tighten that up, stick all the bits in, and there it is. Look at this. Isn't this great? Now she just moves and poses. She can look up and down. Hopefully her eyes didn't move during all that jostling around. Put some matte varnish on her shoes because I don't want them to be shiny. And then I will start costuming. So as you can see, it's a little labor intensive, but not too difficult. Basically, you have a rubber band in here, and each one of these hooks is hooked into that rubber band, and the rubber band in the middle holds everything together. And that's it. Now, some more fun stuff.